Sara Davies is here, 12 years now at HSN, and are we going to have some fun today? Or
I have got the best time for you. I always say to everyone, the Facebook Lives have fast become my favourite part of every trip to HSN because it's so much better when we get to go live and interact with everyone at home. Yeah. And this one's a little bit different. Couple of important things you need to know about today is, okay, because it is National Sewing Month, and tomorrow on HSN is a sewing and crafting day. Usually we only do crafting, we're doing both tomorrow. So I've got a load of our crafting products and a load of our sewing products. So this live today is a preview of some of our items coming up tomorrow, but better than that, exclusive things that we planned just for the Facebook Live. Not only exclusive demos, but exclusive products that you will not see on air tomorrow that have been saved for this show.
All right, a very special show. In fact, it's kind of the Sara and Sara show.
Yeah.
Sara American and Sara English. Yeah, she's come all the way across the pond, so come hang out with us. We are streaming live on HSN's Facebook page. We are streaming live on Sara Davies' Facebook page. We are streaming live on Crafters Companion Facebook page and Friends of Crafters Companion page. We're like all over the internet right now. In fact, Sara Davies is blowing up the internet. Let me give you some shout outs. Yanda is here. She says, I'm not supposed to see you until the husband comes home so I can use his credit card. So, Yanda, your secret is safe with us.
Mum's the word.
Linda, Bethann, Tammy, Judy, Michelle, Roxanne, Pam, Jane, Kelly, Janet, Darlene. Hey, give us a shout out. If you've got questions for Sara Davies throughout the show, I'll be happy to take all of those and share all of your comments. But a fun hour of crafting, sewing, and we are going to build some bears today.
Well, this is the first thing that we're going to do. So one of the brand new products that we're launching here tomorrow is this Build-A-Bear, right? Now, the idea is, in the kit, what you get is all of the dies. It's a die cutting system to give you the die to create the character shape. Now, the one that we're going to make is this little dude here with his dungarees on. Okay. So in the set, you're going to get everything you need to create the little guy himself and then the dungarees. Now, for those of you that don't know me well, I am not a proficient sewer, okay? My mum taught me when I was younger. I had a clapped out old sewing machine that had 20 years at home, right? That was what was my everyday go-to. When we launched the Build-A-Block system here on HSN, I had to learn to sew again to be able to present it on HSN, and I totally fell in love with it. But I'll be really honest, I'm not one of them people that has hours and hours and hours to spend. So I can't, when I want to make something as a giftable, a big ginormous bed quilt is just unachievable for me because I don't have the time. I love to make little handbags, and we've done Facebook Lives where I've made little handbags. Assuming we get time today, by the way, I'm going to show you how to do this handbag here, right? So not only are we doing the Build-A-Buddy, but we're going to be doing the little upcycling a pair of jeans into a handbag as well. It's one of my favourite projects to do. But I love little projects like this. My little sister's just had a baby girl, and I just think to make something like this, it's only like an hour, maybe a couple of hours if you're a complete beginner project. You can do it even if you don't have a sewing machine. You can do all of this hand stitch. I'm going to use a machine just for speed, but you could be doing this at home even if you've never sewn before. If you've got a die cutting machine, everything you need is in here, including all the instructions, and I'll show you that.
So there's hope for us beginners.
There is absolutely. I will keep you right. I will keep you right.
It's like Build-A-Bear for dummies. So we're going to follow along, and thanks so much for chiming in. It looks like Pat is here. Christine says, hi, Sara, watching from London, England.
Oh, yeah, we'll get people from all over the world.
Patricia is here. Lovely lady from Birmingham, Alabama. Lucretia is here. Gail is here. And so thanks so much. The more you chime in, the more we can share all of your comments.
Absolutely.
And if you want to shop anything that she's working with in the show, you can just click on the link in the post, and that'll take you to HSN. We've got a lot of her exclusives from Crafters Companion. So you're in the right spot at the right time. Let's get started.
Come on, let's come have a little look.
Please.
We can do the drum roll. Right, here's the thing, okay? So in the set, what you get is the dies, and they're in two parts. So the first part is really the most important part. It makes you a naked bear. And the naked bear can be a naked cat, he can be a naked rabbit if you want, but he's naked, right? And then what you do is you get the extra dies. So this, for example, is the little dungaree set of dies. So it's like dolls, isn't it? This is like going to make your doll, and then you make all the doll's clothes for the doll, right? I can remember my nana doing this when I was younger, right? Now, if you're like me and it's completely new to you, what you're going to do is on the instructions, you'll see it'll take you to our website to download the free instruction sheet, right? Now, on the free instruction sheet, look how comprehensive this is. So it shows you what we're doing and then literally takes you step by step through every stage. So everything I'm going to walk you through now, in fact, you know what? I'll walk you through and show you the instructions as we're going so that you can see how I'm following the instructions. Now, that's the little bear that we're going to do. Look, if you wanted to do the cat, then we've got the full instructions for the cat. In fact, I've got the instructions for each one of them printed out here, and it literally takes you through step by step. There's the little dog you can do, and then all the, I love the little rabbit. I think the rabbit might be my favourite, right?
Just in time for the holidays or, you know, rabbits for Easter. I just think homemade gifts in everybody's stocking this year.
Oh, I think that would be lovely. And actually, you could Christmasify them up. You could have Christmas dungarees on if you want, and then a little change of clothes for later, right? So if I have my instructions there, let's start following through, right? Now, we have the dies on the website, but then we've also got all of the felt. Now, I like to stitch these in felt, so we do different colour packs. This is the colour pack that I like that's got like all of your kind of berry colours, not, you know, no pun intended, but all the little berry colours are on there. So you can choose, let's imagine we were going to do them in this sort of mint colour.
Grey bears.
We can do any colour bear you want. Honey colour bear, well, I like
Cinnamon
that.
bears.
Oh, yeah, you could do bears for Halloween, couldn't you? Put them in little Halloween outfits, right? Now, the great thing is, these, if you've got a Gemini or a Gemini Junior, you're going to be able to you're going to be able to use the dies on either one. Now, I'm going to cut through 2 layers of the felt here. So I'm going to get my 2 layers of the bear's body first of all, and then I'm also going to put his hair on there, and you can put a little arm on, do all the cutting at once. But it tells you on the instructions what you need, but you do need 2 layers of things.
So the whole body, you only need 4 dies?
You're only going to need 4 dies for the whole body.
Fantastic.
So can you see? So I'll get all of this laid up, and we'll run this through the machine.
I'll give some shout outs. So thanks guys for watching. We're streaming live on HSN's Facebook page, Sara Davies' Facebook page, Crafter's Companion Facebook page, and we're going to try to read all of your comments if possible.
All of them?
That's my job, yeah.
I tell you what, you're going to be
I'll
going
do the
some.
talking. Okay,
Sounds
Connie
like a plan.
says, how do you order? Great question, Connie. They're going to click on the link that's in our post, and you'll get taken right to HSN's Facebook page and our website, and it'll tell you exactly how to order everything that she's working with. Katie says the bear is so cute. Linda says, do the dies work in the Gemini Junior?
Question answered.
Question answered,
These
Linda.
all work on the Gemini Junior, Linda.
And that's what she's got out here on set. Nora says, you're making me want to go back to sewing.
I'll be really honest, Nora. That was my brief today. Let's get everybody sewing, all right? Let's get everybody doing a little bit more. So let me show you that. I'm not going to do all of the die cutting, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is. And look, this is how I like to keep all my dies stored. I like to be nice and organised, put them all back on there. You can keep it all together. There's my body, there's my little dungarees and the rest of the guy, right? So if I put that to one side, you can see, and you would do...
perfectly.
Look at that, we've got 2 of the bodies, we've got 2 of the heads. So let me show you, I can just jump on a couple of little steps, right? I cut mine actually in the lighter colour. So here's his little face. Now, on the instructions, can you see, you get a little embroidery template, exactly the right size for the face.
Perfect.
So all you're going to do is you're going to sit and hand stitch on some eyes, mouth, little nose, and if I just show you mine, here is the one I've done. Can you see? So I've just stitched some little circles for his nose and his little eyes on there as well. So if we put them on, I've just realised you're overhead, aren't you? And I'm doing everything up to back to front, upside down for our nice cameraman there. Now, what I've also done in the set, when you get the body, by the way, each set has extra ears. So because when you get the little bear set, you get the dungarees and you get the ears for the bear, right? So out of the ears set, you want to be cutting, where's my little ears gone? A couple. No, they're not. He's hitting. I've got them here.
Okay, there you go.
Right, so I'm going to do some stitching on my little ears, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch, and I'll come right round so you can see the machine. You don't have to machine stitch, you can just hand stitch if you want, but I find it, if you want to do your machine stitching, just make sure you have I would say quite a shorter stitch, not too short. I've gone 1.5, and just go slow. Don't do a Sara and go ridiculously fast. Now look at this, I'm not very good at turning, so I'm going to leave the needle in, just turn a little bit, leave the needle in, lift up a little bit, and we can go all the way around, a little bit more. So can you see? And every time I'm just putting that needle in, turning around a little bit, and we can stitch down the other side. And they're all designed with about 1/4 inch seam allowance, right? So when I take my little ear out there, can you see? It's not perfect, but it doesn't matter, because all we're doing then is just ever so gently turning that inside out. Do you know what I'll do? I think I'll do it with my my little pointy scissors so that we can then get the little poke in here and make them into little ears, right? So you've got your little ears, and actually the turned in bits act as a little bit of padding on there. And then watch what I'm going to do next. I'll stay here and bring this to you. If I get my body, can you see what we're going to do is we're going to stitch his ears. His ears are going to go on the side like this. So what we do is we put them face down onto the front of his head like this. And we're going to stitch along and attach the ears onto his face. Are you following me? All making sense so far? Right.
Anna's chiming in. She says, I love your product. Such fun. Hello from Michigan. Hi, Ann. Mike is here. Diane is here. Amy is here. Amy says, I just love my Gemini. I love it.
So can you see that? There's his little ear gone on there. And you can take all these extra bits of threads off afterwards and even cut off the excess bits here once we've got the stitch on. Get the corners off. So can you see we've got his little ear on. Now, if I just take you over, what I've done is I've done a little face. And I've stitched both ears on, and I've just neatened them up a little bit, so we've got these two ears on there, and you can see it's starting to look like an actual little teddy bear now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the two pieces together, and we're going to stitch all the way around the outside. And I would just say, if you're a little bit like me and a little bit gung-ho, right, just hold them together with a little bit of a pin on each side, so that they're not going to kind of come apart as you're going. And I'm just going to take my time and just stitch around there. So we get into here. I'm going to leave his body open, the bit that goes into his body, so that we can really stitch around there, but we can have something ready to turn back around the other way. I know what you're thinking. You've never known me as quiet. It's always when I do the sewing. You've just got to watch me. Sewing and colouring are the two things that shut me up. Trust me, my husband will tell you, he loves it. He loves it when it's sewing night or colouring night.
He doesn't hear a peep out of it.
Doesn't hear a peep.
It's hard to sew and talk at the same time.
I don't know, there's a lot of things Sarah can do and talk at the same time, but sewing is starting to push on the limits of it.
Hey, well, if you guys love sewing, we'll be sewing all day tomorrow on HSN, so come hang out with us. We've got some amazing values. And if you are loving anything in the show, just click on the link in the post, and then you can check out where all the products are available on HSN's website. We've got a lot of exclusives that no one else has. So if you love like the die cuts to build the body of the bear, and if you want to pick up on the die cuts for his clothing, it's a good time to tune right in. Eileen is here. She says, does it need to be a special fabric or a felt?
Let me just show you where we got up to so far before I go all the way around, okay? I have not all I've used is the felt from the felt packs that we've got. Look at that, you can really see where he's kind of starting to take shape there, can't you? You're actually going to stitch all the way around, and then what you're going to do is you're going to leave the base bit open for your head. Do you want me to show you on there, right?
Sure.
So I'll come over to you.
Okay.
I'll come over to you. So if we come over, to this one here, can you see what I've done is I've stitched all the way around, so you start to see that kind of head shape come into motion there, all the way around, and then you turn it inside out, but then you need to stuff it, right? And that's the key with this. So you're going to stuff it under here. Now, the head is the difficult bit, which is why it's the bit that I've shown you. So you're going to stitch the head. Then, to be honest, the arms and legs are pretty straightforward. So can you see, with the arms, what you're going to do again, you're going to stitch all the way around, leave this little bit open at the top. Then I've used some pinking scissors to just pink around the edges to then turn that inside out and stuff it. So it's a little bit fiddly. Do you know what I find works brilliantly? Like a crochet hook or something.
Ah,
I mean,
okay.
you can get proper tools, but
sewing
I don't have all the tools. But yeah, something that's not too pointy on the edge, so it's not going to push all the way through. So you're going to be able to turn it out, and then all you're going to do, you've got your head. I've done the same with the body. You're going to stuff the body. Here's the body that I've got. So can you see I've stuffed my body all the way around, leaving the open bits for the arms and legs. Now, what I would say is, obviously you're going to want to hand stitch these on, right? So you're going to pop your legs in, and your legs are going to just be hand stitched on.
Sure.
With the arms, it's a little bit different.
Okay.
So with the arms, what I want you to do is cut two of the arms out, stitch all the way around. So you're not going to leave anything this time to put them on, because we're not going to attach them and we're going to stitch them on. So can you see I've stitched all the way around. Then what you're going to do is you're going to use your, let's have a look, I think I've got one in my, I think I've got one in here, the little, the tool that you use, your unpicker, right? You're going to get your unpicker and you're just going to put a tiny little cut in with your unpicker, right? So you're just going to, just through one layer, not through two layers, and we're going to put a little cut in the fabric. So can you see that? So we'll put the little cut just in the one top layer, which will allow you to turn that all inside out and then stuff that. And can you see you get just a little bit of an opening left, and then that literally stitches on to the side.
Perfect. What are you stuffing it with? Anything in particular?
No, I've just been using a bit of toy stuffing.
Okay.
I find toy stuffing, can you see, it's just the cheap toy stuffing, right? So a little bit of the cheap toy stuffing, but you want to stuff it really, really full, so that it kind of holds its shape in there really nicely. So I've filled it with toy stuffing. You can see where I've stitched one of the legs on. You're going to stitch both of the legs on. The two little arms are just going to stitch onto the sides, and then the head, can you see, just literally goes inside and then stitches around there. Now the head we're going to cover, yes, just a little running stitch all the way through. And can you see what we've done on them? We've designed things like the little dicky bow tie, so that if you want to cover over some of your stitching with the dicky bow tie, you can absolutely
Good
do
idea.
that, right? Just makes it a little bit easier. Now, what I'm going to show you.
Now, can you use any kind of fabric, felt, or what do you recommend?
So I've used the felt pack.
That was Eileen's question.
Great question, Eileen. So I've used the felt pack for doing the actual body of the bear, just because it gives that nice feel. You can absolutely do them in any type of fabric you want.
Okay.
What I do is I use the felt for the body, and then can you see I use the fabrics, any fabrics you want, to do the little clothing.
Cute. Yeah, you could do flowers or gingham.
Well, look at the little rabbit we've got as
denim.
well. The rabbit's lovely, little dress, right? So that's how you say. So does it make sense how you kind of stitch the body together? Right. Let me show you with the teddy bear how we do its dungarees. Right.
Okay.
So that's the next part.
All right.
So
Diane says she's done working. Time to watch Sarah and Sarah.
perfect. Love it.
Thanks, Diana.
I've got a whole hour planned for you, by the way. The Builder Buddy's just the first demo. We're going to do some quilting. We're going to show you how to cut some quilting patterns. Then we're going to do some stitching, and hopefully I'm going to get time to show you how to do the little bag as well. This is one of my favourite projects. I love upcycling. I would say an old pair of jeans. I've got no old jeans left. I got the charity shop and buy the jeans. They're like $5 for a pair of jeans. Cut the bottoms off, and I use the legs for actually a lot of my die cutting, and then the tops make into fantastic bags.
Excellent.
Oh, I love
All
them.
right, Judy says, I always mess up the tension when I'm sewing. How do I stop the thread from clumping?
Oh, so you've
do
got...
you have any
well, on our machine,
ideas
if I just show you on our machine, what you've got is you've got the tension is actually all adjustable on here, and it's the same with most machines. Now, they will come pre-tensioned. So my recommendation is do not adjust the tension from what it is, but if you find it's starting to get a little bit slack, just adjust this. And the big thing I find as a beginner sewer, one of the things I always struggle with is if somehow it just stops working, or the needle gets stuck, or it's not working. All you do is don't panic, right? Just pull out the thread from the top. Pull out the thread from the top, start again. And just thread it all back up, and you'll find 9 times out of 10, in fact, I would say 29 times out of 30, when you thread it back up, absolutely no problem. Right?
Excellent.
Just
Good
a little
to
bit of a tip.
know.
Right, so with the dungarees, just to let you know, what I've done is, you get on the dungarees die, you basically get half of the die, right? So you've only got half of it. So what you're going to do is, on your fabrics, let's have a look. Let's assume it was a crafter's companion bear, right? You're going to get your purple fabric, and what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half, and you're going to cut over the fold. Does that make sense?
Yes, and you'll get
so you cut over the fold, so when you open it over, you're going to get 2. And you need to cut 4. I know that's because we're going to do dungarees that you've got the inside lined as well as the outside. So you're going to cut 4 of the dungarees. Now, I've already started on mine, so let me just show you. So I've done 2 of the dungarees, right? And let me take you over to the machine, show you what we're going to do. We're going to stitch around the top, which I've done, and I'm going to stitch the little legs together, and then I'll show you the next stage.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, we're here with Sara Davies from Crafter's Companion. We are crafting, we are sewing, we are building bears. And we're doing it all from the very beginning. So if you want to hang out with us, you can stream us live on HSN's Facebook page. You can go to the Crafters Companion Facebook page, also Friends of Crafters Companions page, and Sara Davies Facebook page. And we're going to try to get to all of your comments. And if you have any questions, give us a shout out. My name's Sarah. I'm from HSN. And Sara from England is doing some jolly good sewing today.
Some jolly good sewing. Thank you, darling. Thank you, thank you.
That's my only attempt at an English accent during this presentation.
I'll take it.
Okay.
It's like the Queen's English,
Oh.
not like Sarah's English from up north I am, you see. Right, so if we stick our little dungarees through, can you see how they're starting to look now like some actual dungarees, right? So we do this on both sides. So there's our little dungarees. And then what I am going to do is I'm just going to top stitch along the bottoms here just to make them look super cute. Now when you're doing the top stitching again, just going right to the edge, and the machine will do it all for you. And we're just going to do like this nice little neat stitch right along the edge there. And actually we don't even need to snap our thread, so we can go straight in onto the next one, onto here. Let's have a look at this. Actually, I'm going to go right near the edge, and then we're going to go straight along the top of that one. So top stitching on both of our two edges, right? So can you see, I've done this, and we'll just cut that in the middle. So we've got our dungarees, yep. And what you're going to do is, again, you're going to do two of those. So we've got the front and the backs, and this one here again, I'm just going to have a look. I've been a little bit not gentle with this one, and it just started to come away at the edges. So it's worth just taking your time and doing a little bit neater, and also give it a bit of a press. This is called finger pressing, where you just run over it with your finger, but give it a nice bit of a press, and it's just a little bit easier. There we go. It's starting to take shape a little bit more. So when we've got two of these, we lie these down together. Let's have a look what time are we on. Oh, right, I'm very conscious of the time because I've got quite a lot to show you. Let me just show you. So we'll get two together, and I want you to go all the way around the outside of here, right? And actually, where are we at? Let's have a look. I've done one there. So can you see? Say if you watch me doing it, I've got all the way around the outside. So let me take you and show you now how that's going to look like a pair of dungarees when you've done that.
If you're trying to figure out how to shop some of the great dyes that she's working with, you can click on the link that's in the post, and that'll take you to all the great items that she's working with. A lot of them are exclusive here at HSN. So if you want the dyes to build the bear, if you want the dyes to do his little arms and ears and the cute little dungarees, it makes it so much easier. Then you're not trying to do the fussy cutting with the pair of scissors, right?
A lot of people do, people buy patterns, but the thing is, if the cutting out takes longer than the sewing together. And at the end of the day, which bit's the crafty bit? Because I think the crafty bit's doing the sewing. The cutting out bit's the really dull bit at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like with our card making.
Right.
We want to do what as much pre-done as possible. Look at this.
Yeah, you get to get right to the fun stuff.
Look at that. So you've now got this lovely little pair of dungarees. But what I love is, from the one bear, you could make the dress for the rabbit, the little dress for you do the little waist. There's a waistcoat one right over on the edge. The waistcoat's so cute. And obviously, when you finish putting your whole body together, which I didn't get time to do here, you literally just dress him. So can you see we've got one? Yeah. But what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't actually stitch the dungarees onto him. I would make it so that he's got little bits of interchangeable clothing, which is exactly what we've done there. So can you see, I mean, I stitched through just to hold it in place because we're using these ones on air. But can you see that his legs are free, are pulled through, and it's actually, he's got his whole little bit stitched together.
Maybe you want to make him different outfits.
Exactly.
For daytime, for weekend. Bears
Build-A-Bear.
have a lot of, fun occasions to go to.
Little Builder Buddy. So that is the Builder Buddy. So it is coming up tomorrow, but I wanted to give you the heads up in the preview. Now, in the main kit, you get the Builder Buddy body and the Builder Buddy dungarees to make the bear. But if you want to get the other little guy's friends, if you want to get the little dress, you want to turn them into a rabbit or anything like that, we have extra sets on the website on hsn.com that you can go and buy.
Excellent. And you can just click on the link in the post and it'll take you to all of these. And Sara Davies is going to be live tonight on HSN at
1 a.m.
At 1 a.m. So that'll be her first live show. But tomorrow's a big fun crafting and sewing day. Stacy says, I can't wait for tomorrow, although I've already purchased everything.
Do you know, a lot of people do this.
That's actually a great idea, Stacy, because a lot of her items do sell out, and so that way you can just have fun watching.
A lot of sold out already. Even though it doesn't start till tonight, we've had quite a few sellouts on the website tonight already. A lot of people, when your $5 cart starts, they get all the shopping in that they want. Some people are actually telling me, there was a big conversation going on this morning about our advent calendar, which is supposed to be launching at 1 a.m. So many of you have already had it delivered home. I'm talking hundreds of you.
Wow.
Yes.
Colleen says, Sarah, when did you learn to sew?
When did I learn to sew? Well, my mum taught me when I was really young. However, I got right back into it last summer when we brought out the builder block. Because I love the idea of quilting. I don't love the idea of lots of cutting. So the easier you could make the cutting, the more inclined I was to do it. And I'll be really honest, I haven't made a lot of quilts. I've made a ton of cushion covers and table runners, right? Anything you can do that's fun. I can make a cushion cover in an hour, okay? If I was making a quilt, it would take me a month, right?
Right.
Table runner is a nice weekend project, right? One day I will get round to the quilt.
Okay.
I said I was going to make one for my niece. Yet to
you gotta
try
know
that.
where to start.
Yes, absolutely.
Judy says, is the stitch a good first sewing machine?
Well, the reason we did the stitch was basically for me or people like me, right? So here's the thing. What would really frustrate me if I was a customer, right, is if you want to get started in a new hobby like sewing, you need the right kit. However, if you buy the kit and then you actually start taking it seriously, within a couple of months you outgrow that kit and buy more professional kit, right? And that's just, I didn't want people to go on that kind of journey. So what we thought we'd do is, instead of making a really beginner entry-level machine, we do one at the price point just above an entry-level machine, but make it like a much more professional one. So a one that can sew things like denim, things like leather, so that it can do some of the more hardcore stuff. One that's got lots of extra feet that you can put on it. I'm going to walk you through the machine in a little while after we do some more quilting demonstrations. However, we designed that machine for people who are absolute beginners, or like me, I was upgrading from an old machine that my mum gave me. It was actually my Auntie Margaret gave me, that was about 20-year-old. This was the next level upgrade machine for me. And don't get me wrong, I'd like to think that I got into it and so professionally that I made the next leap up, but the difference is my next leap up would probably be to like the machines that are almost £1,000, as opposed to having to buy one, then buy one for £400 to £500, then make a step up. So
perfect.
That was my thinking.
Okay, so check out all of those online at hsn.com. Let's see who's here. Dee is here. She says, oh, two of my favorite ladies on HSN. Sarah with an H, Sara from across the pond.
From England.
Dee says it'd be fun to make them different outfits for the holidays. And you can make one bear, and then you could make different little fun
Imagine
outfits.
if you've
you could
got
do like
daughters or grandsons or whatever, but imagine maybe you could make the little outfits together, or they could pick the fabric from the store and then make the outfit.
That would be really, really fun. My niece loves to sew.
How old's your niece?
She's like 11 now.
Oh, perfect, perfect age.
And she's actually a good little crafter. And the favorite thing is to pick out fabric from the store. You could do like a Halloween outfit. You could do Christmas. You could do like gingham, or you could do green and red, or you could do kind of dungarees. You could do like a pumpkin patch look. This one's got a little, you could do fun accessories too. You could have fun giving them like a carrot for the bunnies, or you could do a little jar of honey for the bears.
Oh, it comes with a little honey jar template.
Does it come with it? Does it come with
the template? It comes with the template. The little dog comes with the bone template.
Oh, great.
Look at his little waistcoat and his little bow tie on there as well.
So sweet. And look, that bunny has the carrot.
I love them.
So cute. All right, we are streaming live on HSN's Facebook page, Sara Davies' Facebook page, Crafter's Companion Facebook page. Let's say hi to Karen. Would love to make these for kiddos in need.
That would be wonderful.
It would be a wonderful, wonderful gift. In fact, this is the time of year there's a lot of fundraisers.
Loads.
There's a lot of donations needed. Maybe it's for local families, or maybe it's for a fundraiser. It's a lovely idea.
It's always crafts. People always want handmade crafts, and I think these would be gorgeous to make.
Anne Marie says, you can turn the boy bear into a girl by putting the bow on its head.
Great idea. I was wondering where that was going to go.
That's a great idea.
We can turn the boy bear into a girl, but I was thinking, no, this could get difficult. says Sarah with two small boys who's having to explain about boys and girls at the moment.
Yes. Did you have a fun summer with your boys?
We had a lovely summer
like
with
you
the boys.
did.
Oh, it was fun. It was Charlie's first day at school last week. Started school. So, right, wonderful.
What's next?
Is it right? These are what has been saved exclusively to show you today, right? Now, I know that most people watching today are going to be quilting fans, right? And with quilting, it's all about cutting the shapes. Now, yes, if you have a Gemini machine and you buy a lot of our dies, you have it nailed. But a lot of people out there don't, and maybe don't want to go down the die cutting route. They're just doing the traditional cutting route. How do you go about cutting the perfect hexagons. How would you go about cutting the perfect circles in all different sizes? Now, we've developed a set of rulers for quilters that will do all of this for you. So we have the circle one, we have the hexagon, we have the diamond shape, which is also, by the way, you can do them as halves, so you can do them as triangles or diamonds. And then we've also got the tumbler. So the tumbler is brilliant for quilting, basically, where you've got the different shapes. These would, and this is a brilliant for someone like me who wants to do quilting but doesn't want to do anything overly complicated, cut different ones and they basically rotate as you're going to stitch them all together perfectly. So let me show you how it works, okay? Each one of these rulers is basically half of the shape. So can you see we've got the circle, we've got the diamond, we've got the hexagon, and we've got that tumbler shape as well. Now let's start with the hexagons, okay? Now you can see, and I don't know whether you're on the overhead camera or you're looking at me from the front, right? So you're looking for me from the front. So you've got your placement line here. We can do a 2.5 inch, 4.5 inch, 6.5 or 8.5 inch cut on here. And all we do is you take your fabric, and I've already folded mine and pressed it just so that it's a little bit easier to work with. You place this with the placement line onto the bottom. So really important, you're going to work to the placement line, not the dotted line. The dotted line is if you want a seam allowance, if you're going to do 2 half bits together, right? So you can see we're overhead there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it on the placement line, and let's cut the largest size hexagon, so 8.5 inches. Now you can use just one of your just a regular rotary cutter. I like to use the little small ones, right? And then watch what happens is this is designed to fit in the gap. So you can hold this down, and can you see the way we've designed it is so that you can overrun at the edges. And then we can clip into the next one, go along, we can clip into the last part there, and then cut down from there. So you can see I've cut the perfect, and I mean the perfect when we iron that, hexagon, yet done it straight from the tool here.
That is brilliant.
Doesn't that just make it easier?
That is
right?
so fantastic.
You imagine cutting that
this, right?
Well, and that's a hexagon, right? What about if you were doing a circle, right? It's the circles that people can never, ever manage, right? It's a nightmare to get the circle right. I've done the same again. I've just popped it on and folded it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the circle cutter on here, and I can just decide, right, look at this. We can go 4 inch, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, all the way up to the top. I'm just going to pop that placement line on the bottom. Let's do a smaller one this time. Should we do a 7-inch circle? So I put the placement line on the bottom. By the 7-inch circle, we put the blade into here. Now the blades are designed to be a little bit wider, not the blades, the gaps. So can you see I haven't quite caught all of that? So you won't be doing yours up to front, backside first, upside down, back to front, live on TV. Let's have a look. I'll put my scissors there somewhere. Yes, let's just get a couple of these little snag bits that I've missed. You can just do yours. Can I just show you how I would do it if I was doing mine at home and not live on TV, and it will make a little bit more sense to you. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got that pretty good there for a 7-inch circle. But if I was doing it at home like this, right, what I would do is I would actually, because I'm right-handed, I would put mine on my right hand so it's a little bit easier to cut. So I put it on here like this, put it on my placement line, you see. Let's go and do a 5-inch one. Can we fit a 5-inch one on there? We can just about fit a 5-inch one on there. Absolutely perfect. She says that we're getting it like that, right? And then we just go into the circle for the 5-inch, all the way around, and then we come back around this way. Yep, so can you see, it's just a little bit easier, and it's just easier to catch it. And just make sure you catch it all the way around. There we go again, just where I've snagged on that one bit. But can you see, you will get the circles, whether it's circles, ovals, triangles, and they will be absolutely perfect. Perfect sizes, no matter which shape you do. And it just makes all of your shape cutting so much easier.
And this will work if you're left-handed too.
Yes.
I like it.
So you can, I was using it on the right. Actually, my sewing teacher is left-handed.
Okay.
So she has to try and think of everything back to front upside down for me for TV. So yeah. So there you go. So you've got the different sizes, and they're so easy to do. So you've got the circle one, which does all of these either half circles. So if you wanted to do 2 half circles in 2 different colours, you'd actually cut them with your fabric lined up. Can you see? On the on this dotty line instead. instead of the placement line, and that gives you a
And
half-inch seam allowance.
to
And
sew
then
in
you can
between.
stitch the two together, and when it
Perfect.
opens up and presses out. So you've got all of these different size circles. We've got the same with the tumblers. So there's my half-size tumblers, and then there's your full-size tumblers in there. And that one there is your tumbler one. And again, the tumbler one, and I think it's a bit unique, this, I'd never seen this before, where you can go past. And can you see? So then when you're coming down, it's going to give you that perfect cut into the corner. You couldn't get your tool all the way into the corner.
you would never get the corners done.
Just makes it that little bit easier. So you've got the tumbler, we've got the hexagons there.
Are they sold separately or all in one?
I think we've got a bit of both. Assuming everything's everything's available and nothing's sold out yet.
Remember to click on the link in the post if you want to go ahead and shop anything that we're mentioning in the hour. And everything's on hsn.com.
Brilliant. Right. While we're doing cutting, there's one other item I want to give you the heads up on, which has already been ridiculously popular on the website since we previewed it when we did a Facebook Live ahead of the show. I think when you see it, you'll kind of understand why. It looks like a behemoth, and everyone's like, whoa, how does that work? And it is a really full-on shape cut. I'm just trying to think, where's my... Yes, the cutting mat. We've got a large cutting mat for me to cut on too, just the normal size one. Right, what I'm going to do then, I've left my large cutting mat down in the other room, but I'll still be able to show you. Now, this here is the shape creator, so I'll use it on the flat base so you can see. Now, basically what it is loads of little cuts ready for you to place your thing in between for you to do your cutting from, right? So, let's assume that I'm going to do, where have I just put the, here it is, right? Let's assume I'm going to cut some strips, right? What you do is you take your fabric straight from the bolt. So it is folded over multiple times straight from the bolt. Now, what usually happens, you see, when you're cutting this as a quilter and you want to cut multiple pieces at once, you have to put your fabric down, you have to square off the edge, and then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to then move. So assuming you were using a normal ruler like this, right? What you would do as a quilter is you would square off the edge, then you would move it along, you would measure your 2.5 inches, cut again, move it to the next place, cut again. Watch what we can do all in one go, right? So we just line it up. You line up your line along the bottom of your fabric. So this is literally straight off the bolt,
so
right?
it'll be that perfect right angle.
And I'm going to take the edge off there, 1/4 inch, and then we're going to be ready to cut our fabric strips. So again, I'm just using the smaller cutter, but you can do either. I find they literally just, you'll find the little tool just slips in, and you can just cut. So we cut out. So there's our edge squared off. Then we're going to come along to 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. No, I'm going to just go, let's have a look. I'm just going to line that up. Should have left my extra bit on there, right? Got that perfect now. 2.5 inches. And then the 2.5 inch point, we're then going to go 5 inches. So we're going to cut our 2.5 inch strips. Now for things like your binding, this is perfect.
So much easier.
For if you're doing your, those of you that are cutting loads of squares at once, I'm going to show you how we can cut squares, how we can cut diamonds, but we can get all the strips done literally in one go.
Judy says, I learned to shop early before everything sells out. Judy learned when Sara Davies is on HSN, everything goes fast. Yolanda says, this makes me want to make a quilt because if it's easier, right?
There you go.
Then you get all the fussy stuff done.
Get all the fussy stuff done and out the way in one go.
Then you can get to the fun stuff. Liz says, I've already made 4 quilts and I couldn't have done it without the build-a-block.
There you go. It's not just me, you see. Right, look at this. Sarah, I think Sarah needs a new blade in her rotary cutter before we're on air tonight. But look at all these. Look at all these strips. I've got them absolutely perfect. So each one of those strips is literally... Amazing. I mean, you'd be on for ages cutting these. Let me show you, though. What we can do is you can take one of these strips, and if we want to cut our squares, all you do now is turn it along, and we're going to do the same again. So we're going to just line it up on the base, and you can do all of your different shape cuts. So let's have a look. We'll just we'll take the edge bit off, right? And then we're going to go 2.5, and you just tease it open. 5.
You really can't mess it up.
No.
Which is amazing.
And this is what a lot of people say to me.
In place,
and it just does all the work for you.
You can't mess it up. I love how there's like a little opening too, so you can actually
just to put your tool straight in.
there.
Yep, look at this. So now all of your squares are literally perfect. So those of you doing, 2.5 inch square, you know how long it takes to cut all of your 2.5 inch squares.
Heck of a lot of time.
So we've got them all ready, literally ready to go. Now, there's loads of things the tool does. I can take you through what we will be doing a full presentation on HSN tomorrow, but I've only got an hour and I do want to make that bag. So one last thing that I did want to show you is, if I just take here.
By the way, her first live show is coming up tonight at 1 a.m.
1
Eastern.
a.m. So that's a craft show.
That's a craft
show.
show.
But I will be in the 12 o'clock show doing a little
noon?
bit of sewing.
Okay.
No, 12 o'clock midnight tonight.
Oh, midnight.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Right, if you want to do a circle, right, watch what you can do. If I just cut little, let's just do like a 4-inch circle or something, right? Let's cut a little bit of fabric. And then all we do, right, is you're going to fold it in half. And we're going to fold it in half again so that we're right on the corner. And can you see you've got your different shapes, you have different sizes onto the bottom. So all we do is we put that onto the corner. And if you're wanting to do a 4-inch circle, we can literally cut round that corner. And you've got a 4-inch circle sorted.
Wow.
Yep, just to add a little bonus, and you've got a 4, a 3, a 2 and a 1.
Different size circles on every corner.
Different size ready to go. So that is a little bit of a whistle-stop tour on the Shape Creator. My biggest focus, I wanted to walk you around the machine though and hopefully do that project on the machine.
Let's do it. We got about 20 minutes left. If you like that Shape Creator, remember, just click on the link that's in the post and then it'll take you to a link on everything that's available from Crafter's Companion on hsn.com. Hey everybody, shout outs to everyone at HSN's Facebook page. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on this beautiful afternoon. Also, a lot of you tuning in from Crafter's Companion's Facebook page and Friends of Crafter's Companion's Facebook page and the one that only Sara Davies' Facebook page. Is it true you started this when you were just 21 at Crafter's Companion?
At university,
Wow.
just 21 years old. I was at university.
First product or first idea?
The enveloper. So basically, everyone was making handmade cards, and I said, well, they just can't get envelopes for their handmade cards. So I designed a tool which would enable you to make any shape or size envelope to fit every one of your cards. We sold tens of thousands in the first few months, and I kind of became a household name for crafts in the UK. And then I was at a trade show. The buyers from HSN saw me, said, oh my God, that's amazing, all them envelopes. Card making's on the up over in America. I think we should put you on HSN. And I came over here and taught everyone to make envelopes in America as well.
And now we can't stop crafting. Yeah, everybody loves our big craft and sewing days here at HSN. So if you're a huge fan, tune in at midnight tonight, all day tomorrow. Sara Davies will be on, a lot of our other crafting friends. And it's just a fun way to be inspired, right?
Oh,
you can get so many ideas.
Well, I love it. I always say I've got the best job in the world. I literally fly all over the world teaching people how to craft on TV. And you've got to remember, like I said, sewing, I'm not an expert sewer, but it's brilliant to be able to come on air, show everyone, even if you're a beginner like me, hopefully inspire you to think, hang on, that's not difficult what she's doing. Sometimes it looks really complicated when you've got really advanced people doing it. I think if I can show you, if I can do it, we can all do it, right?
I only took one home ec class, and I think I could pull off the bear.
There you go, see?
That's right. I can do that. Okay, you can do it
Right.
too. So chime in. Patty is here. How long does it take to build a quilt?
Completely up to it. Depends on how advanced you want your quilt to be.
how
Now, honestly, you could do a quilt in an evening if you want, if you just did basic strips on that, right? If you want to start and put, I like to do my quilts, like, for example, I like to do patterns like this, right? So if you want to start and patch together, do patchwork quilting. This is patchwork. Then you're starting to get a little bit more advanced. I love this sort of quilting because I love maths. I love the working out of that sort of stuff, which is why the lady who said she loves a builder block.
Yeah.
That's perfect for people like that. But like I said, so it's all about getting started or progressing on. The great thing is, you get yourself some nice fabrics, everything's going to look gorgeous. It's just about, I think you work with the right ingredients, you get a great cake, don't you? Same thing here. Get yourself some lovely fabrics. Even if you do the most basic of quilts, it's going to look really professional.
There you go, Patty. Leslie's seen lots of paper craft opportunities with the ruler.
Oh, Leslie, I want to know all about that.
For papers? For paper crafting too?
I can't think what you would do papercraft wise, but if Leslie's got loads of ideas, Leslie, I would love to hear some of those ideas.
Leona says, love the fact you can order early and pay one postage. So yes, we'll have the big $5 fill your cart all day long. And I think it's already started.
Yes, it did. Yeah, it started
Okay.
yesterday, so a
It's
load of
official.
you have been getting the $5
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you shop. You can fill your
What I
cart.
can't believe is
$5 shipping and handling.
you can buy a sewing machine for
right.
$5 shipping and handling.
That's right.
And then you can buy 10 other things and not pay any more shipping and handling. You guys must lose a fortune. That's all I'm saying. We win. You guys must cost you a fortune.
It's a very popular day, that's for sure. Michelle says, what is the mat called again?
The Shape Creator.
Shape Creator.
Shape Creator,
Michelle.
right?
Okay.
So, apparently it's coming up. Well, sure.
Here we
It
go.
comes up on the bottom of the screen. Right.
It does.
Are you ready for me to start walking you through this machine a little bit? Right.
Give us an idea.
Let's get me up. Right.
The jean bag.
So we are going to get to the jeans bag. Absolutely. We've got 15 minutes left. I can show you the basics, right? Now, someone asked before, is this a great machine for beginners, right? If it was a machine just for beginners, all you'd be doing is stitching that basic fabric that I showed you. Look here. I'm going to stitch a really heavyweight twee onto like a stretchy velvety fabric, and I want you to see it will stitch equally as well whether we do something basic or more advanced, right? So you put this down and we're going to put our needle in. Now when it comes to your machine, you see you can alter. This is your length of your stitch, this is your width of your stitch. I'll show you all of this. These are all of the stitches you can do. Now when it comes to basic stitching, I like to start on roughly about 2.5 and 2.5 over here. And you just press the foot down and literally you will get that perfect nice running stitch. And look, we can go really fast, or if you're not so confident you can just slow it right down, like when I was doing the little bear, right? So it's a little bit, look at that, I've knocked myself off going slow there, but you'll see the idea. And then when that comes down, little thread snipper at the side, and then look, we get that lovely, even sewing two fabrics like that together, look at how professional of a stitch we get down there, okay? Now, I want to just show you, if I just take one of these very basic fabrics and just cut a little strip, just want to show you, oh here, I've got a nice one cut here, right? Let me start and show you how you do different stitches, okay? So, on here, can you see we've got all these different stitches. So if I want to start and do a zigzag stitch, all I do is change this to B. And B would look like this, okay? And we can either do B like this, or we can do it more advanced like this, or even more advanced like this. And I'm going to show you these in a second. But if we come on to number 2, again, I'm just going to put the needle in here. So when we do a zigzag, and I press the foot down, you get a very, very basic zigzag, right? And if I just show you that out the end, you can see there's our little zigzag stitch coming out the end. Now, when we talk about altering the stitch length and the stitch width, what we can do is we can make it go much wider, right? So our much wider stitch, or let me take it down and do a much narrower stitch and show you the difference. And when I turn that around, in fact, let me just lift this up. Let me just lift this up here. And if I lift this out, can you see we've gone regular stitch, wider, much narrower stitch. And then it's the same, if we want to just continue that on, and I'm going to bring this in. Tell you what, stitching back to front upside down for the camera. You won't have to do all of this at home, guys. You'll just do it. Let's put it back to the middle, and we can go with a longer stitch length. So there's a longer, or we can go with a much, much shorter stitch length, and we can get a little tiny narrow zigzag. So from one stitch, I've been able to alter regular, wider stitch, narrower stitch, longer stitch, shorter stitch. All of that from one stitch. Now, if I just show you, let's go to another one. Let's do something a bit more exciting. What if you want to do this one up here, right? If we want to go to S2, we go all the way here till we'll get to stitch number 2, right? And then you can chew onto stitch 2 and you get all of these, or stitch 1 and you get all of the next lot, okay? So it's basically how you change these and you go all the way through E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and then we come into buttonholes, which I can show you as well, right? So lots and lots of different kind of ways to change all of these stitches. And the stitches I've got are all over here. If I just show you this here.
It's nice to see all the pictures too, right on the machine. It makes it so much easier.
Look at this.
You don't
This
have
is
to
where
wonder what you're doing.
we've literally stitched all of those. So this is the one that I was just showing you. And look at all the different decorative types of stitches. In fact, are we on that nice overhead camera? You can go through. These are your first bank of stitches, your second bank, and they are getting more and more advanced as we are going. And you start, and then also you can start and put 2 needles in at once. So if you want to go with a twin needle effect, you can get all these beautiful, where we're doing 2 at once with your twin needle effect on there as well.
And this is all on the Gemini stitch
All
machine,
done on the Gemini stitch.
which is available on hsn.com. And just so you know, this is a really affordable sewing machine. It's less than $130. And we have flex pay, and of course we have
I told you we were making,
$5
we were just trying to make it
shipping
fun.
and handling.
Now, what comes in with the machine, I've got such a mess over here already, right? So I want to show you this, okay? If it was just a basic bog standard machine, you would just get your basic feet. What I've done is I've added in all the extra accessories that you need. So, you know, I talked about twin needle stitching, where we can do 2 sets of stitches at once. You get the twin needle included. You get all the tools and accessories, and then you get different feet. So we get our buttonhole foot, if you want to do a buttonhole. And then also you get your zipper foot in here. Now, this is really important, okay? So let me show you. If you're wanting to do projects like this one, and you need a zip in, you can't just sew a zip into a fabric with your regular foot. You need to change to your zipper foot. And I'm going to show you how we change feet and what that zipper foot looks like.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Judy says, I am so thankful I found you on HSN's years ago. Thanks for sharing your talents with us. Judy, thank you so much. And we are streaming live on HSN's Facebook page. We are streaming live on Sara Davies' Facebook page. We're also streaming live on Crafters Companions page and Friends of Crafters Companions. So we'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and give Sara a shout out if you have any questions for her as she demonstrates what's happening next.
Let me show you. So I can't quite see what you're seeing, so I'm hoping you see. You're nice up close on here. What I'm going to do is
showing you right now.
Can you get? I'm going to let you get a little bit closer in here, right? So if we want to change this little foot here, all we do is on the back of the machine, there's this little lever here. And when I drop this little lever, one foot drops off, right? Oh, let's just get my needle back up. So the foot drops out. Oh, there we go. Then what I can do is I can put my little zipper foot on. And all I do is I hold this down over the top. And then as I put my little foot down, it's going to pick up that zipper foot, right? So can you see that it's picked up that zipper foot? And now we're ready to go. So if I just bring this back round and I can show you how we can stitch our zip on. And I've got the zip all ready, right? So what I've done is, in fact, I'll show you. I'll lift these off. So if we've got the zip, you get your zip, and we have, you know, loads of zips. And then here is my 2 fabrics, and I want to get that zip stuck between those 2 fabrics. So what we do is we lie this down, and then you get your zipper, and you lie your zipper lined up with the edge. Yep. And then when our zipper's lined up with the edge, you get your next bit of fabric, and you line that up with the edge as well. And then just hold it in place. So I like to hold it in place with these little clips, or you can hold it in place with your pins if you want, but you're going to get it all nicely lined up with your little clips or your pins. Then, because we've got that zipper foot, let me just get my foot ready to go. All we're going to do is when we stick this down, you see, let's move this down, I can feel that little zipper there. Oh, look, I've put it on the wrong side. So can you see, I want to put this on here. So let me just show you. All we do there is we're going to drop this off the back, move it onto the other side because it's a universal, it'll pick up on both sides. So that is if when I come to do the zip on the other edge, you see how easy it was to swap over? And what you'll find is, you see, when I put this down here, I can feel that is lining, I can feel my zipper right here. So I can see that when I put my, when I put that needle in there, I am right up next to the side of the zip. I can hold my zip in place. And I literally, make sure we're back onto A, yep. As I go down, we are literally stitching right up adjacent to that zip. So you really can't go wrong with it. Let's have a look. I've just got my little catch on here. There we go. So it's just going to stitch that right up against the side of the zipper. And it's really difficult to go wrong. If you're a complete beginner at this, like I was, you just need to know that you're going to get professional results, even if this is the first time you've done something. I'm not going to stitch all that zip all the way along, because I'm just going to show you how it fits in. But can you see, when I stitch that now, that zipper, assuming that's the front of my material, and then that's got, and you can see that zipper is being stitched right up against where that zip is. And that's how you put a zip in. And zips aren't just for like people who are doing dressmaking. For someone like me who started quilting and does loads of quilt covers, quilt covers, cushion covers, it's nice to put a zip in the back for my cushion cover, right? So that is my zipper foot. So that's how we do our zippers.
Bobby says hi from North Carolina. Thank you, Sarah, for everything you do for us.
Oh, my
Hi,
absolute
Bobby.
pleasure.
And let me thank so many of you for hanging out with us. Dawn was here, Amy was here, Anne was here, and there were so many of you joining us, whether it's on Crafter's Companion, on HSN's Facebook page. We're also streaming live on Sara Davies' Facebook page. Remember, Sara is going to be back tonight. At midnight. And then
midnight with some sewing products, 1 a.m. with some crafting products.
And she'll be here on and off all day tomorrow, too.
Come on, I've got a little bit of time to quickly show you how we do the handbag that we've got there. So all I did is I took an old pair of jeans, actually from the charity shop, just cut them off literally right around the crotch area, right? And then I've taken a piece of fabric and I've literally just put the piece of fabric in the back and pinned it all the way around. And I want you to see how, even though I'm going to take the edge off here, so we're going to stitch this round, even though we are stitching through denim, this will be able to stitch through denim and fabric. Don't think because it's a $130 machine that it's only $130 quality. I want you to see that we can stitch through that, even though, look at this, through denim, absolutely no problem at all. So here's my pins, and as you get to each one of the pins, you're just going to take them out, and we'll go all the way around.
My old jeans, Sarah.
Oh, they're perfect. Do you know what I find as well is that the kids, a lot of the kids will put their, look at that, even straight through the hem of the fabric, absolutely no problem. And every time, if you do get a little bit of caught like that, I find bags are brilliant because they're so forgiving. You know, you don't have to get them perfect to get them stitched together well. So, am I going to get time to stitch all the way around the end of my bag, or are we going to run out of time? Yes, I love it. We've got this. We've got this. It just shows you. Look at this. So I'm coming up to that thick bit there. Even though we get to that super thick bit, watch this. The machine. Just go a little bit slower. Absolutely no problem. Through multiple layers of denim. It's honestly, it's a fantastic workhorse machine. Right.
If you want to check out any of the products that Sara's been showing you during this presentation, you can just click on the link that's in the post, and then it'll take you to HSN's page, and you can see a lot of exclusives you can't find anywhere else. She's designed them exclusively for us here.
We do.
And we have some of the best values you can find when it comes to crafting and sewing. And it's going to be really, really fun day tomorrow. You can check out 24 hours of nonstop shopping starting at midnight. And you might get inspired to, maybe there is a new craft.
Maybe there's some sewing.
Maybe you want to come back to sewing. Maybe you kind of got away from it for a while.
I remember last National Sewing Month, so last September, I was over to do some sewing, and we had hundreds, literally hundreds of crafters tell us they started getting into sewing for the first time. Now look at this. When I turn this out, you see, what I've managed to do there is literally stitch the fabric base onto the bottom of my bag. Now, I'm not going to get time to show you everything, but let me just show you quickly how you put the handles in. You're just going to use the legs of your jeans that are left over. And really important, when you take your bag, you pop it inside like this. And you must lie your handles face down like this. So just put them like next to the belt holes. And you're just going to hold these in place. And you're going to just hold them in place like this. And then when you get the lining, so I've done my lining as well. I just did same again. You're going to take the lining, you're going to turn it inside out so you've got the right sides together. Really important, you always have the right sides of the fabric together. That's going to go inside. We're going to put the other fabric inside as well, and then right sides together, and we're going to basically stitch, just like you've seen me do the base, all the way around the top there like that. So can you see on this one here?
Yeah.
We stitched all the way around the inside, leave a little gap in the bottom of your bag. So on this one here, so you can turn it round inside out, and then I've just top stitched along the top. But honestly, these are little projects. I mean, it's about
so darling.
It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours if you're a complete beginner on something like this.
Wow.
But I think for an old $5 pair of jeans from the thrift shop, and it just makes such a lovely little gift, doesn't it?
It's so fun. I mean, we love our denim. We might as well get a handbag made in one too. Nancy says remarkable. John wants to know, is there any craft that you can't do?
So I was really terrible at knitting. I did pick it back up again a couple of years ago and try and master it. Better on the crochet than the knitting.
Okay.
But I just like to turn, if you craft, you craft. And you'll find you can probably turn your hand to anything.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You give us so many fun ideas. Remember, if you are streaming live with us on Facebook, thanks so much for joining me and Sara Davies. She'll be live tonight during the midnight hour on HSN. You can also check her full hour at 1 a.m. and then all day tomorrow. She'll be here giving you the best of her crafting and sewing ideas. And then if you want to see anything of the products that we were mentioning in the hour, you can just click on the link in the post and you can shop them on hsn.com. Any other important messages?
So 12 o'clock I'm up with some sewing products, 1 o'clock with craft. Tomorrow, remember I'm throughout the day, but I've got another one of these Facebook Lives with our crafting products, our paper craft at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, wow. Okay, and by the way, all of our items go really quickly, so if you can, shop them early.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of things that have actually sold out before the show even starts tomorrow. Right. There's some things that we save just for the Facebook Live. Some things don't get a presentation on air. They just get to go on the web. So we always do catalogues. Every show we do a catalogue. So make sure if you aren't already a member of our group, fans of Crafters Companion on HSN, get in there. Have a look at everyone else will keep you right in there. That's what I love about it. Everyone keeps each other right.
It's a wonderful community. You guys inspire each other, help each other out. Thanks so much for joining me. My name is Sarah Anderson. I'm a host here on HSN, and we will see you tonight at midnight.
Tonight at midnight.
Throughout the day. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your new Build-A-Bear and all your fun inspirations from Crafters Companion.
See you tonight.
Take care.